all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice.
Shh, what? Hey YouTube, it's your boy King James 2020. Yo, back on Angel video for A's. Real man, look man, I know you probably haven't seen me with the Durant for a long time. Hold up, roll the clip. We're gonna be
trying to kick it. I'm in the mouth, son, like
a girl, man. Yo, I like you for me. No, I haven't cut my hair for me. I just got crazy for me. Story time for me. Crazy story time for me. And I'm talking about he violated for me. Get your snacky for me, cause look, man. Make sure to like the video for me. Like they violated me for me. Like I'm talking about from 1 to 10. 10. He violated my ass for me. I know y'all waiting for me to say it. That's what I do. Let's go ahead to the video for me. Let's get it. Look, man. So look, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Every little detail, man. It all started back then for me. 2 years ago for me. 2 years ago, I liked this girl for me. Now this girl, she was, for me, she was beautiful. She was cute, pretty. She was valid for me. She was lit. You can tell when a girl wants you, and you can tell when a girl does not want you for me. So at this point, I'm like she's feeling me, because the way she's looking at me, like no cap, you feel me? Y'all probably think I can't pull, but look, man, everybody has their own opinion, but look, the way she's looking at me, I'm like, she wants me for me. She want me. She's feeling me for me. I'm like, I'm about to ask her out for me. And I was about to ask her out. It was around Halloween for me, October 31 for me. Halloween for me. Oh man, Halloween is just crazy. It was around 40 for me, because we're not that close, but we're like this close for me. But you can tell when a girl wants you and do not want you for me. So I was trying to get to know her better for me. So I was about to ask her out for me. Tell me, like, when all the classes ended, bro, my main focus was like, oh, okay, I gotta ask her out. I'm like, alright, for me. And now this is the crazy part. Look, get your snack. Look, man, I see her in the locker alone for me. I'm like, this is my moment. I'm like, yeah, alright. Face, baby. Yeah. You know back then, baby. So I see her alone in the locker for me. I'm like, alright, this is my chance. I gotta shoot my shot. I'm on my way to the lockers. Both of my niggas come. Yo, listen. I'm like, bro, not now, bro. Like, okay. I'm like, get out my way. I'm on my way to her again. I see my other friend. I'm like, my nigga, get the. He's like, but nah, bro, listen that. I'm like, get the. Bro, not now, okay, now. I raise my tone, this looking fresh, you feel me, this and that. Alright, I'm like 10 feet away from her, you feel me, I'm walking. 2 ratchet girls get in front of my face. Why? I'm like, oh my god, like, get the f. I'm just wanna ask a shorty out and you over here in my face, dog. Like, come on, straight up. I'm like, yo, hold up, bro. Like, it's like when they talk, I could see everything in slow motion, like get the fuck face, bro. I'm not playing around, bro. I straight up, I want like get out my face. Once I pass the ratchet goes, I'm like, where the fuck she at? This point, the shorty I'm trying to ask out, she's gone already. Like, bro, like the shorty I'm trying to ask out, she's gone. Like by the time I got to her, but it was probably like 5 minutes already. Now I knew her homeroom was next to my homeroom, you feel me? Because we had the same class and that, but her homeroom was next to my homeroom, you feel me? When I'm trying to get out of the homeroom so I could, like, you know, ask shorty out, because I know her bus is the first one. Don't call me a stalker. Do not call me a stalker. I do not call me a stalker. Now I knew her bus was like the first one for me. Don't call me a stalker. But look, for me. So I have to go to the bathroom for me. Now at this point, I'm trying to see where she at. For me. I see her walking out. For me. I'm like, hey yo, my boom. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, mister. Straight up. I bumped into the principal, bro. Gotta be tripping, bro. Not Jason Tatum. I'm talking about Mr. Tatum. I'm like, hey yo, boom. I bumped, like, come on, bro. Like, as the day go by for me, I'm in the lunch waiting for my bus, you feel me? You know, my bus is the last bus, you feel me? Ghetto bus, you feel me? Couple hours later, you feel me? I went back home, you feel me? And my mom's like, oh, you're not going trick-or-treating today. I'm like, why not? She's like, oh, it's not today. I'm too busy. I'm like, alright. At this point, I didn't care, you feel me? So I hopped on Fortnite. You know, Fortnite back then, 2 years ago, that shit was late for me. So I hopped on Fortnite, for me. I was just chilling, cranking 90s with the boys, this and that. I wasn't feeling it, you feel me? So I grabbed my phone. Everybody had iPhones back then. I'm talking about, I had this phone for me. This is valid. I had the Galaxy 5, you feel me? Now I didn't care because I just had it. A phone is for phone, you feel me? I was just late for me. Now I had Snapchat on the Galaxy 5. I mean, listen, then I had Snapchat and I was on a group on Snapchat. You feel me? I was friends with her. You feel me? So your boy King James had a snap. You feel me? Like on this phone on a 31, I'm like, bro, let me just ask her out. You feel me? I'm like, I got in my phone. I'm like, yo. She was like, what's up? She was like, what's up? I wasn't gonna call her. I just texted her. I was like, yo. She's like, what's up? You feel me? And straight up, I was like, I need to tell you something. You feel me? Like, she's like, what is it? Now at this point, I was like, I like you, this and that, like straight up. You feel me? I think you know, I'm not gonna say I like you, but I don't exactly remember what I told her. You feel me? I just told her that I liked her. You feel me? In my type of way. You feel me? At this point, bro, like I sent it to her and she read it. You feel me? And you know when the emoji pops up and then she like bro, like just they text back. I asked her out. She left me on read for 5 minutes. I'm like, bro, you can't. I'm like the phone were like what the fuck? Like I was texting the phone. Like come on, look. Like you hit in the back 2 times and it reads this. Look. Like this is how fucked up this one. I'm like, what the f? I mean, then at this point I was taking a shit. Like no, for me no homo this and that. I'm just trying to be serious. But I'm in my phone like text back, and then she texting back, and she's typing. She's like, I like you too. I'm like, oh, I'm just smiling. What's this? I see a but if I would have had the time to know you better, we could have. I'm like. You go to school, like we can get to know each other. I'm like, what do you mean? If I would have the time to like know you better, I'm like, what do you mean the time? Cause like we can get to know each other. Like when you come back, this and that. You feel me? We can talk more and this and that. We can get more closer. You feel me? And then she's like, I'm switching schools.
Oh my God!
I'm like, you tripping? Straight up, I was like, you tripping? She's like, nah, I'm switching schools. I'm moving. So I'm like, what school you going to? She's like, I'm going to this and that. Alright. At this point, I'm like, damn. She was the only girl in middle school that I liked. To be honest, the rest of the girls, they were just. Now she said she liked me, but she would have had the time to know me better. We could have like. But then she left the school. Told me like. She switched schools. She had to move. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what the f, bro? I mean, I felt bad, of course, because you know, it is what it is. You feel me? If you guys want a part 2 for this, you feel me? Just drop it this in the comments. If you guys want a part 2, let me know. You feel me? Psych! This is the next day for me. For me, this is getting kind of crazy for me. Hey man, you already know what to do for me. This is part 2 for me. Let's go ahead and get to the video for me. Let's get it. If you guys don't know where we left off, for me, basically I asked the shorty out for me, but she's like, oh, if I would have had more time to know you, we could have, you know. I'm like, what do you mean time? She's like, I'm gonna leave. And I'm like. So shawty left the school, you feel me? So when you moving out of the city, she's like, oh no, I'm just moving, you feel me? But nah, you feel me? That's where we left her, you feel me? So basically, shawty moved, you feel me? She moved. So then I'm like, damn, bro, like she was on my mind for like, I'm not gonna lie with you, for a whole 1 month, you feel me? Cause I really liked her, you feel me? I was like, damn, I'm about to, you know what I mean? Like she was valid, you feel me? But nah, man, you feel me? She was on my mind, you feel me? This and that.
Lately you be on my mind, I'll be on my grind. Remember the times when you press rewind. You were lying, tell me why you lied. Nigga, you by my side, you on my ride or die. Oh.
It was like, she was on my mind for like a whole month, you feel me? Yeah, I just had to move on, you feel me? Cause if for me, you just have to move on at the end of the day, you feel me? And then I just moved on, you feel me? So then 1 year, let's just say a whole year, you feel me? Yeah, then 1 year later, you feel me? 1 year later, I'm late, you feel me? I'm boxing, you feel me? I'm grinding, you feel me? On YouTube, I'm late, you feel me? I'm living my life, you feel me? And then I don't know where, you feel me? It was like on a Sunday. I was in a party with the boys, you feel me? My friend sent me a post, you feel me? And I go and I see shawty snap. I'm like, you changed. I went from I'm like, nigga, really? Damn, bro, like she's alright, you feel me? And out of nowhere, I'm like, bro, like, why not text her? You feel me? So like, I went on my Snapchat, you feel me? At this point, I did not have this phone, for me. I had an iPhone, you feel me? I had an iPhone 6, for me. I'm like, damn, yo, how you been, this and that? She sees it, she leaves. I'm like, bro, why are you leaving me on read? Can't with shorty these days, bro. Like, they see the message, tripping at this point, you feel me? A couple hours later, she's like, oh, good. How about you? I'm like, I'm alright, you feel me? So like, what have you been up to lately? You feel me? Straight up, I was just, you know, I was trying to check in. I was trying to check up on her. You feel me? She's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. And I'm like, at this point, I didn't care because I moved on. You feel me? She's like, oh, I have a boyfriend, and she sends me a video. She sends me a video of her and her boyfriend. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, oh, bitch, I'm a big gangster. I turn around with his foreign love.
Fuck, my nigga. Shorty sends me a video of her and her boyfriend. Like, I'm like, couple clips, this and that. She's like kissing, this and that. They're having fun, roller coaster. I didn't care when she said she had a boyfriend, but when she sent the video, at this point I was like, she's coming at me some type of way. For me, I was like, she had a boyfriend, and I'm over here saying his boyfriend, he's white. I have no problem, my nigga. Like, I have no problem of her boyfriend being white. I don't care. Like, I don't care if her boyfriend's seeing him. I'm like, I'm way better looking than him. I text her. I'm like, okay, and she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. I'm cuffed now. Bye. I'm like, can we at least be friends? I'm like, can we be friends at least? Like, I'm just, okay, you have a boyfriend, but like, oh, I have a boyfriend. I'm cuffed now. Bye. I'm like, okay, can we at least be friends? I'll think about it. I'm like, for me, I thought it was something important, for me. And I don't know where I see this dude. Oh, leave my girl alone. She's cuffed. She's with me. Fuck. Leave her alone. She's mine. Wait for her. Oh, you suck. Get away, you. I'm like, nigga, relax, bro. Like, okay, I don't want her, bro. I'm just trying to be friends. And I don't know where this nigga takes a screenshot. He screen recorded. This nigga posts on his snap. I'm like, this nigga gotta be tripping. Her boyfriend gets her phone, and he over here taking a screenshot and a screen recording, and he's posting it on his snap, on his Insta story, on every social media. Nigga. And I don't know where my friends start texting me, oh, you're down bad, this and that. Oh, damn. I'm like, fuck, man. At this point, everybody in the ghetto knows. I'm like, you gotta be f***ing me, bro. Like, this dude just violated me. He violated me I didn't know who the for me, because some of my friends who doesn't use Snap doesn't even know about it. So I just stay quiet. But I have friends that when I'm down bad, they're pushing me like, oh, you're down really bad. I'm like, nigga, I know. Her girl said I'll think about it. So, and he's mad over here like, bro, look, man. And that's how he violated me. For me, he violated me on Insta, Snap, anything, bro. Like, there is a group chat of the whole ghetto. For a whole week, I see my phone, you're down bad, brr, get pressed, brr, like, nigga. So I was just trying to show you, for me. There is more to this, you feel me? There is more to this story time right here, man, you feel me? If you guys want a part 3, for me, there is more to this story time, you feel me? There is more. If you guys want more, comment down below, you feel me? No cap. I'm out. Again, no cap. I'm back with story time, man. Look, this is part 3 for me. If you guys are keeping track of the story times, you feel me, you're a GOAT. Basically, her boyfriend violated me all over social media. He was like, oh, he basically exposed me on his Snapchat, on his Insta. I'm like, this nigga is tripping for me. But nah, this is part 3 for me. Make sure y'all check the story time so you guys can keep track. Look, man, part 3 of the story time, man, for me. I hope you guys like it. Let's go ahead and get straight into it for me. Let's get it. So this is legendary. Look, man. Now at this point, bro, like, it's about like a couple months. I'll say another year, but I might have to say like half a year. I'll say like a couple months. Like, you get violated, like, feel me, like, a couple of weeks later. Everybody forgets that, you feel me. Instagram posting on my story, oh, check the new video, you feel me, because, I mean, you gotta stay tuned for the videos, you feel me. So, I don't know where about, you feel me, like, and, like, this is the thing, she knew about my YouTube channel, you feel me. So, like, basically, I don't know if she's seeing this, but it's been years. It's been like 3 years by now, you feel me. So I hope she might not see it. Now, this is the part where she thinks I'm weird. I'm on Instagram, you feel me. At this point, I'm on 2K, you feel me. 2K20, the vibes, you feel me. 2K20, look, man. It'll pop up with somebody else, because I follow this girl, you feel me. Not, I don't follow her. I follow the other girl, you feel me. So, the other girl tagged her in it. And I'm like, damn. I see her like, she's bad. I go for me, I check her for me. I see her name, this and that. Like I don't follow her because I remember what happened last night for me. She posts a picture that birthday. I'm like, oh, so it's her birthday. I'm like, damn, that's why her friend tagged her in it, and that's why I saw it for me. Then I went on her thing for me. I'm like, let me just tell her happy birthday for me. So I follow her for me. I message her and I'm like, yo, happy birthday, you feel me? Later, like, I'll say 35 minutes, you feel me, playing 2K. She's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, so she responds. Do you mind, for me? I'm like, how old is she? She's like, Tendai, for me. I'm not gonna say her age, because, you know, you never know, you feel me? At this point, this is the part I Tendai, for me. We were talking for a while, you feel me? We were actually talking for a while. Now, at this point, I'm like, she definitely must not have a boyfriend or something, like she's talking to me. But at this point, we're talking. The conversation is going good, you feel me? Not only on Instagram, but on Snapchat, you feel me? Because on Snapchat, we were texting, you feel me, this and that. Sounding slight. We were talking, you feel me? And then, I'm like, do you have a PS4?
He needs some milk.
She's like, I have a boyfriend. Bye. I'm like, bro, like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I fuck. But, like, you don't have to be like, bye. Like, she like, if you're talking to me as a friend, and I'm telling you, do you have a PS4? How are you gonna say, I have a boyfriend, bye? What's up with you? Like, you still talking to me, right? How you have a boyfriend?
That one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't.
I'm texting her. I'm just trying to make conversation together back then. We used to play Fortnite back then. That's why, you feel me? I like the shorty. She was, you know what I'm trying to say? She was violent for me. But then she had a boyfriend, this and that. And now we're texting for me. It's her birthday. I'm like, happy birthday, this and that for me. And then we late for me. I tell her happy birthday for me. The next day, I'm like, yo, how you been for me? The next day, we're talking for a whole 10 minutes for me. The next day, we're talking for a whole 10 minutes. She left me unread for me. She left me unready for me. And at this point, I'm like, damn. And the conversation was going good. We were talking, you feel me? But I fucked it up. That was on me. That was on me right there, you feel me? I told her that she have a PS4. Because I knew she had a PS4 because we used to play Fortnite back then in the days, you feel me? So, yo, you have a PS4, hop on, so we, you know what I mean? So we can talk and, you know, we can, you know, talk and this and that. And she's like, no, I have a boyfriend. Bye. I don't know, when I was texting her for 10 minutes, bro, like, all the memories just came back. Like, damn, like, I feel like I still liked this shorty. Like, I feel like I still like her, for me. Like, all the memories come back. Like, at this point, I'm like, I feel like I still like her, cause like, and I feel like she was still, and I feel like she likes me too, cause we were texting, the conversation was going good, you feel me? I'm about to tell her how I feel again. Like, it was 3 days later, you feel me? I tell her, yo, I've been thinking about you lately, and I know you have a boyfriend. I'm about to explode myself, bro. Like, fuck it. At this point, bro, all the feelings came back. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wrote her a whole paragraph that sound cringy for me. I wrote her a whole paragraph because, like, you know, I told her, I just can't get you out of my mind, you feel me? She's like, oh, I can't help you with that because I have a boyfriend. I'm like, alright.
Yeah, alright.
Once I expressed myself typing how I felt about her again, it's like it went away, to be honest. I'm being this serious, bro. I told her how I felt again. I sent it. She's like, oh, I can't help you with that. I have a boyfriend. Bye. I sent that emoji. I unfollowed her, you feel me? Okay. I liked her. She rejected me because she had to move. But when she moved, she had a boyfriend. So I was trying to be her friends. But then her boyfriend exposed me over social media, you feel me? And now, I still like her and I express my feelings again. And she's like, oh, I can't help you have a boyfriend. And I'm like, shit. Once I said that whole paragraph, I'm like, oh, the feelings just went away. It went away. Shit. It's like I just had to let it go, you feel me?
Let it go, let it go.
I just had to let it go, you feel me? That's how, you feel me? That's how the story time ended, you feel me? Compared to part 1, part 2, and part 3 right here, that's how it ended, you feel me? So basically, I told her like 5 sentences, you feel me? And then all my feelings just went away. Like that's the story of, you know, for me. I asked her out, she had to move, you feel me? Once she moved, she had a boyfriend. I was trying to be friends with her, but her boyfriend exposed me on his story, you feel me? You feel me? And everybody was clowning me. And then 1 year later, it's her birthday. I'm like, yo, how you been? And the next day, I'm like, damn. The next day I realized I still like this shorty, you feel me? I still like yo, I still think about you. Feel me? I still think about you. Now you like with you, bro, when she's like, oh, I can't help you, I have a boyfriend, I was blasting a boogie, I still think, feel me? And that's the story of the crazy. I don't really know what I do not know what the story it is, you feel me? But once you see the title, it's gonna be shocking, you feel me? I was shocked, like, how do I still like her when I moved on? And then I expressed my feelings all over again, you feel me? And she's like, I can't help you, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, fam, man. But all my feelings went away because I just expressed it. When I don't rush to get away from me. Everything will come in place, you feel me? So just don't rush, you feel me? It's your boy King James, season 28 for the one time. We are under the 3K subscribers, you feel me? Make sure to like the video, you feel me? If you haven't liked the video by now, I don't know what you're doing, but make sure to like the man, for me. Live your life. No, man, no fuck do, man, for me. It's your boy King James for the one time, and I'm out. Again, no cap. Yeah.